Hello everyone and welcome back to Midgard, where today we're going to be destroying a village. Now before you take that too literally and you get concerned for the safety of all of these villages up here, we are going to be rebuilding it as well. So as I've explained in previous episodes, my aim for this series is to basically get this entire map, or as much as possible. Let's say just this bit to begin with, and then we'll see what we've got for the rest of the map. But the aim is to get as much as possible to resemble a Viking settlement. Now, of course, this village is in the map. And it's just a standard Minecraft village that doesn't look all that Viking-like, does it? So what we're going to do today is bit by bit, I landed on the roof. Bit by bit, we're going to take down each house and rebuild it with a Viking twang. Now, whether I will achieve this or not, I don't know, because as I've explained before, I'm not the greatest of builders, but my idea and my plan is to try and keep the actual layout of the village exactly the same. So if I take down this house, for example, I rebuild a house in this exact same spot. Same with that one, same with all the other ones around. To the point where we've got over here, this one. This is like a blacksmith. That's not a smith, is it? Weaponsmith? Something. Yeah, he's got some sort of weaponsmithy house type stuff. I'm going to turn that into a blacksmith. The one right down the other end all on its own, that's going to be a little fishing house. You know, I'm going to try and keep it in the same place as possible and also do up the village. So actually, I'm helping out the villagers. So we're going to start with a time lapse on just the first house. I'll probably start with that one just because it looks like the easiest to do. I've got a couple of shulker chests. Shulker chests? They're not shulker chests, they're shulker boxes. Got a couple of shulker boxes of resources there ready to do it. So I think... Oh, actually, that's a funny shape. I might not start with that one. I'm going to start with that one. Before it comes on screen and you all start panicking saying, you can't do that, I am building this house out of dirt. I have Enderman griefing off, so they're not going to come along and take it away and put holes in the house. And I'm not actually going to be using this, it's purely for the aesthetic. The reason I'm using dirt block is because I don't have a silk touch shovel anymore, because in the previous episode where we used a lot of TNT, I died and lost it in lava, and that's why I wanted netherite gear. But as you can see, it's slowly turning into grass. There's a bit of decoration still to go on the outside of this, but I don't think this design came along too badly. I tried it first off in a creative world and then just decided to move it across in survival to this world, and I think that actually looks pretty good. Not bad at all. And now we've got pretty much the finished product. There might still be a little bit of design I want to add on to that and a couple of decorations, but we've got a couple of stones on each end just to look like you know, it's been reinforced at each end with a bit of something. We've got the banners there, which I think kind of represent shields. You've got like the shield boss there and then the design around the edge, and the black and red colours there are actually the colours of my Viking reenactment group Woofer. So I thought that was quite poignant to add that. And then going inside the build, we've got a little fire in the middle to keep us warm, and it's going up. That's just another campfire there, but I think it looks quite good as a sort of smoke filtration system. Plus, if we look at this now from the top, the smoke comes out even further than if we just had that campfire in the middle, and I think that really adds to the effect of it as well. Obviously, there's not a lot in here at the moment in terms of decoration. There's just a couple of beds. Now, this house is a lot bigger floor space wise than the one we've just taken down. I say a lot bigger. It's a lot bigger on the inside. On the outside, it hasn't added all that much to the foot space of it, which I quite like, because it means we can now have this as just sort of a sleeping house instead of a functional house, because I couldn't figure out what I was going to turn this one into. I know that one's going to be the blacksmith, the one down right over the other end, that's going to be the fisherman's hut. But this one, I think if we just have this as a simple hovel, that means in the blacksmith and the fishing hut we don't actually have to have beds. They can just be, you know, part of the aesthetic of the village, and then they can all go home. Because how many of you actually sleep at your place of work? Not many, I'm gonna bet. But I think that's fairly good for a starting house. And now I'm gonna get on and do the blacksmith, and this is what we end up with. I'm really quite happy with that. It's a slightly different design to that one over there. With that one, of course, we've got the one beam coming out the top. This one we've got all three. There's of course no front door. On the back wall, I'll take you right round, I've made it much more stony, with a couple of little see-through holes there just for a bit of airing, because of course when blacksmiths are at their forge it can get very hot, so they need a bit of airing. There's the forge there, it's just a magma block, and underneath we've got another campfire, and same on top there. I'm really quite happy with how that's turned out. This village is coming along. I know we've only got 2 houses in there so far, but they are both different designs. I think they look really good in their own right, and my aim, I'm not sure how well I'll be able to do it, but my aim is to have each of these houses to have a slightly different design. Even if it's only a very, very minor design change, I want them all to have a slightly different design. Like I say, not sure how that's going to go, because there's quite a few of them. So I'm going to just grind away for a couple of hours now, guys, changing over just these 4 houses up here. I'm not going to do the ones down the bottom just yet. I'll save them for later, but I'm going to do these remaining 4 up the top, and I'll do something to this well as well. And we will see what sort of progress that adds to the village. Though I do say so myself, I think it adds a really good bit of progress. I mean, I'm really, really happy with this. I've never done a build like this before. I've never tried to convert a village or anything like that. I'm really impressed with myself. This is looking more and more like a Viking village, as opposed to you know, just a normal Minecraft village. So I'll take you on a quick tour of these 4 houses. Of course, we've got the previous 2 we've done there. We've got a little well that we've changed over. I mean, that could probably fit in with just a Minecraft village anyway, but I think it fits in really well with the style of the village that I'm creating. These 2 houses over here, they're smaller ones, and we've got a bit of a dip down into it. Just a one bedroom shack in there, and same on that side, but this one's 2 bedroom, but it's also got a fire pit there. We've got our woodworking hut, so we've got the blacksmith over there and woodworking in here. Get off the table! Shoes on the table! Come on now. And then, this is the one that took me the longest. This is like a fancy house. So we've got a dining table there, we've got a few chairs around the fire pit and a couple of beds in there. But I think it's all looking really good. Now I'm going to quickly fly away in this direction towards our tower and just do a quick swivel round. That's looking great. I'm really, really happy with how that's coming together. Now, while going through all of these buildings, I really wanted to find a building that I could convert into a farmer's house, but none of them were in a position to do that. For what I've got in mind for it, none of them were in a good position to do it. And the blacksmiths seems to just be a bit disconnected from the rest of the village, and I don't like that. So to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, as it were, instead of converting a house, I'm actually going to build one in this area here, and this is going to become the farmer's house. So it's going to have some farming area going all the way sort of down here. I think it's going to connect the village a lot better, and I think it's a really good place for me to build a farm. So I'm going to get on with that, and then we'll see how that looks. Not too bad is the answer to that. Let me show you. What are you doing? What do you want? Get out of it, I'm filming here. So this is where we've put the little farmhouse right in between. I think it really does help to actually bring the village together. Now with the shape of this one, it's kind of like an L shape. Oh, I can't even climb. So we've got the one end there, and then it comes out into an L round that way. A little bit of a fire, and we've actually, in this one, we've added some windows. I think that looks quite good. It looks a lot better from the inside. But on the inside, as you will see, it's not an L shape. So what I've actually done is... Oh, I went in the fire. That was silly. I've used this bit to make kind of like an outdoor porch storage area. Got a composter here. Now we've got a tiny little bit of a farm here. But we've also got them staggered down this little pathway. Got one on the left, got one over there on the right. There he is, jumping around. And we've got some animals as well. And why are you in there? Were you the same? You can't have been the same one, because you're in there. What's wrong with you, man? So we've got some animals along here. Oh dear, now I'm in the pen too. I see how you did it. No, get... Oh, come on. Right. We're having steak for dinner. There we go. So, I don't think it's gone too badly. Now, it's not 100% how I envisioned it, and I'm not sure why. I'm just not sure. This bit really isn't 100% how I envisioned it. But I think if we fly away and look back, it doesn't look too bad. It's not... I can't land. It's not overpowering in terms of, you know, the amount of farmland there is there. But it's also not so subtle that it doesn't add anything to it. It's not too bad. I'm quite happy with it. We might work on it a little bit more, but we shall see. So that's the main essence of the village all changed over, the main sort of bulk of it. We have, of course, still got these last few bits down here. I'm in a tree. Do you see that? I walked through a tree. I am a magician. So we've got the little fisherman's hut here. I don't know if I'm going to actually build it here. I might just dismantle this one and move the fisherman's hut over there. I think... Actually, yeah. That's definitely what I'm going to do. This can just be a random little peninsula that juts out. I'll take that away as well. But the fisherman's hut is going to be over here. And here we have said fisherman's hut. Now I think that these builds that I've been doing... I'm nearly filling the waters. Oh yeah, we've added a dock as well. Very much like the one we've got over at the main base. Just because if you've got a fisherman, he's going to be living next to the dock, isn't he? Just makes sense. But I think my builds, throughout the builds that I've been doing, retaking this village, they're getting more and more detailed. I mean, to the point where I've even got this, you know, this fisherman's hut. I probably don't even need to tell you that this bit is where he sells all of his fish from. At least I hope I didn't need to tell you that. I thought it looked quite good. But we've got his fish hanging at the back here, drying out. We've got his barrels with fish in, a few heads of the fish that he's, you know, cut the heads off and is therefore selling. Little bit in here where he can do... Tell you what, I'm going to put a table in there as well. But we've got his then little area in here. Nice little seat for him with a bed and a table. And of course, little campfire for him to sit at when there's no one coming to the market stall. I think the detail in that, when you compare the detail I've put in that one to, let's say, our first build, which is literally a house, just a hovel, couple of beds, chairs, a fire, and that's about it. The level of detail I think has really come on, and I've actually seen an improvement in my own building skills just from the start of this episode, which I think is amazing. Been at this for probably nearly a week in total now, in different recording sessions, and I'm trying to think of something other to say than chuffed to bits, because I don't want to sound like mumbo jumbo, but I am chuffed to bits. It looks very not pants. Having said that, there is definitely a couple of bits from this area in particular that are missing, so I'm going to quickly build those. See if you can guess what it is. Pause the video now, comment below, see if you can guess what's missing. Well, did you do it? Did you pause the video and comment? I bet you didn't. I'll forgive you. This is what I've done. Look at that. Of course a fisherman needs a boat. That's not... no, that's obviously not a fisherman's boat. It's a war boat, but it's a boat all the same, and the fisherman can use it if he wants to. I've also, because of course this is a bit of a dock, I've decorated it a little bit with some trades goods, a few barrels of fish by the look of the amount of fish that we gathered around it. We've got some pumpkins, some wheat and some logs. Any of this could be coming in or out of the settlement, but it just adds to the look of the dock a little bit more. It's not perfect, but I'm quite happy with it. I think it'll do. Yeah, not bad. Now there's one thing left that I want to build in this little village here. I mean, I'm really, as I keep saying, I'm really happy with the way this is all coming together. It looks like a proper Viking village now, as opposed to just a Minecraft village. But there is, like I say, one last thing that I want to build here. It's very big. It's the pièce de résistance. It's going to be going here. I'd say very big, so I'm actually going to need to do some terraforming over here to extend out that land. But I think, without any further ado, let's cut to another time lapse. Would you just look at that? If that doesn't finish this village off, I don't know what will. Oh, this has got hit by lightning. Oh, for goodness sake. Look at that. That's ruined all my hard work. Look at that. Oh, I can't wait for lightning rods in 1.17. That is ridiculous. Okay, I think I'm going to turn fire spread off. Look, I can fly right through the roof. Awful. That's not the point of a roof. Anyway, I'll fix that next episode. It just ruins the background now. Come on. I can't. Hang on. I need to... There we go. That's better. Did it look nice? Now, the original plan for this was... Get out of my view. Go away. The original plan was to actually have in here a villager breeder. So the interior has not been touched at all, to the point where there's a fern growing in the hall. But I then realised, I mean, I actually did this in a creative world. That one and this one are the only, like, few out of these buildings. I got dizzy there. They're the only two out of all of these buildings that I did in a creative world first. I did the villager breeder in a creative world and everything. But then as I was about to build it here, I suddenly realised we got a village here. That won't work. For any of you that know how villager breeders work, you will know that a villager breeder cannot be this close to a village. It's just not going to work. So instead, what I've done is I've done a very temporary little thing over here. This works. I've tested it. I've had babies coming out and everything. Yeah, I'll ow! Ow! Oh, I nearly died. I'll decorate this properly at some point. This isn't how it's going to be finished. I'll put something over the top of this, very much like I did do with that tower and the gunpowder farm. So I'll figure out something to put over this. I don't know how soon I'll do it. This isn't right. That's going to bug me. That should be like that. There we go. I don't know how soon I'm going to design something to put over the top of it. Nearly fell down an hole. But it's not going to stay looking like this the whole time, because that just looks like a standard farm. And that's not the point of this world. We want functional yet aesthetically pleasing. So with this villager breeder built and functional, there it is, definitely functional. There's one thing that we now need to do. And with that now done, that is all we have time for today. Thank you ever so much for watching. And oh, it just looks so good. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks again, and see you later.